Hello everyone, Warhammer here, and welcome back to Grimgor'z Waaagh for Mortal Empires. Now today's episode is running a day late thanks to, well, having a bit of a bad weekend, mentally, and it normally takes a day or two to recover when I do have a bad episode, so I'm feeling much better today, and excited to carry on today, because we're going to be doing quest battles, for the most part. Now, last episode we did finish off the Dragon Isles. We defeated Malus Darkblade and the forces of High Grief in the area. So, as we make our way back up to Black Crag with Grimgor'z army, we are going to be doing the quest battles for Skarsnik and the Blood-Forged Armor. Now, I did double check before the end of the last episode, and noticed that the Blood-Forged Armor, like what I was talking about last time, is not actually the battle that's going to get us the item. Instead, we only get 3,000 teeth from the battle. But fighting Skarsnik's one will give us Skarsnik, so that's our first one, I think. So let's grab Grimgor, and can we actually move him on the water and send him off to battles? You know, I don't know. Let's find out. If we did that, we can, right. The reason being is that you guys can see that there is a shipwreck here, which normally means that we'll be able to get our hands on some loot. So, the battle itself for Skarsnik looks pretty straightforward, so what I might do is just, let's keep him here for now, fight the battle for Skarsnik, and then we can see about getting some extra cash at the shipwreck afterwards. Right, we're fighting up at Grenstadt, facing dwarves as well. We've got some grudge throwers, some gyrocopters, right. As long as we engage them in melee, I think we should be okay against this entire force. The only issue we're going to have is the grudge throwers when we have to deal with those. And probably for things like the steam tank, that's just going to be a pain because it is unbreakable. We're going to have to destroy this heavily armoured unit in order for us to actually win the fights. And that's going to be a pain. Hopefully Grimgor'z up to the task for that. But let's fight the battle and see how we do.
This is it, boys. Time to give this Emperor a right spanking. Me and the Immortals will lead from the front and seek out that poncy crown-wearing git riding his big pigeon. My axe, Skarsnik, is somewhere in that pass. A bag of teeth to the orc that finds it and hands it over. Any of you think you're gonna keep it instead, well, you'll find my boots so far up your ass, you'll be tasting squig leather until you die, which will be straight after. Anyway, let's give Gork a show. Get smashing! I want this pass filled with blood. I want the Zoomies to remember my name for years and years. Remember Grimgor'z! For years. Remember Grimgor'z!
Now imagine hearing that when you're seeing Grimgor'z charging down a hill towards you. Welcome everyone to Blackfire Pass. Even Gork has decided to make his presence known on the battlefield thanks to the spell Fist of Gork. And look at the bodies we've already managed to cause here. First blood to us indeed. Now at this point, the entire horde is basically charging down the hill. We outnumber the Empire easily. So while we're focusing on that, I'm getting my Doom Divers to attack the steam tank. Given the fact that it is armor piercing, I thought it can do some early damage while we're focusing on the soft squishy humans in front of us. Now it looks like Grimgor'z already come in to attack the Luminarch. It's not going to do too well against the Fist of Gork. But at this point though, we can see that the dwarves have arrived. Now what I started doing is moving my 2 units of Boy Big Guns over to the flank, over to the far distance here. So that way then they can sneak around what the dwarves are building up as their main battle line, in order to go after the grudge throwers back here as well as the quarrelers. They are going to take a bit of damage, but they'll be relatively okay. And you can see here, we're setting up my first bit of line to go and attack. We've got our arrow boys back here ready to start firing on the gyrocopters when we get closer to them. And already now the big guns are starting to charge towards their front lines. At this point, the Empire's line is shattered. A lot of their troops are retreating or even broken completely. The only thing really sticking around is the steam tank up there. And at one point it was actually their commander hiding here between all of these big guns. It was just attacking him in the middle. You could barely see him surrounded by the hulking immortals. Oh wow, that was a blast just then. Oh. But at this point now, Grimgor'z has come over and he's going to start laying waste to the steam tank. It's not going to stick around for long. So while he's off doing that, the rest of the orcs can focus on taking out the dwarves. Battle has been met along the front line here. You can see the miners are now to be facing my big guns. Big guns are actually losing, which was quite surprising to see considering they are just miners, but they're losing even worse. We've got the gyrocopters doing some damage to my arrow boys, but we're going to start firing on their position pretty soon. And I've got the Doom Divers starting to blast the other unit, I believe, of gyrocopters over here in the distance. Now over here you can see Grimgor'z has already defeated the steam tank, and he's going to be making his way over to join in. But while the fight is happening then, we've got boar boys going around to outflank them, attacking the units over here. The Waaagh has been activated, causing my units to really just go to town. And these dwarves are not got long left in this world. The boar boys have managed to sneak around. They've been taking out the grudge throwers quite capable. Then we've also eliminated one of the quarrelers, meaning this is our last remaining one. And it's just about to get charged by all of these boar boy big guns. And already the bodies are flying over. How far can you throw a stunty? Well, looks like you can throw them pretty far. Although the annoying thing is, of course, they do get back up again afterwards. Now, at this point now, I activate the Waaagh spell, just to boost up our combat. Sorry, here we go. So we can boost up our combat ability even more. One headbutt, just to try and do a bit of damage against the miners there. Knocks a bunch of them down, but not many casualties, apart from maybe where the initial spell started. But at this point, it's all over for the dwarves. They're still hanging on here and there. You can see over here the Master Engineer is fighting away at my boar boy biggins. But he's just one guy. He's not going to do too much over here against the boar boys. Everyone else is now broken. And very soon, it's battle over for us. Now, because it's a quest battle, we don't have to worry about chasing down the enemies or anything like that. So as soon as we get the opportunity to end it, we did. And we finished with a decisive victory. So, let's go back to the campaign map and get our hands on Gitsnik. So, quest battle complete, and most importantly, we got our hands on Gitsnik, the iconic axe of Grimgor'z himself. Now, we didn't do too badly in the casualties. I mean, I was kind of impressed, I must admit, with Skulk. That Fist of Gork was just fantastic to use. It looks cool as well, don't it? But, what we're going to do with our decision, we can get 890 teeth, plus 4 leadership, or 8% replenishment. Let's go for the replenishment now. The reason being is that, fingers crossed, we can fight the shipwreck battle in a moment. Obedience untainted, okay. Gitsnik? Oh, no. The 8 peak loonies. Anticipating the will of Skarsnik, this crack squad of goblin nutters undertakes whatever devious... What? Chicanery? I consider myself quite a well-read individual, and I've never seen that word before. That's gonna bug me, I'm gonna have to look it up afterwards, but it's required to achieve victory. Okay, Backstabber, thank you, and Gitsnik itself, shaped in the Daemon Forges of Zarnagland. Grimgor'z's mighty axe Gitsnik has never grown dull, despite its constant use. That's not surprising. A bunch of nice bonuses. Recruitment cost is going to be nice when we get our hands on Black Orcs. And the ability Gitsnik, plus 50% armor piercing weapon damage and plus 24 melee attack. That is going to be cool in combat. Right. Let's see now if we can get close enough to trigger the shipwreck. It can be a little iffy at times, because you can see the arrow is in the circle, but it might just not count. Is it? There we go. The Island Song. A tune that promises much with lyrics singing everything from the untold witches of Greasius Goldtooth, he's an ogre tyrant from the name, to summon the gaseous secrets of undeath. I suppose for Grimgor'z he just wants to be knowing where's the next bunch of bad guys for him to smash up, which is exactly what we're going to do now. Oh wow. Bandspar very much in my favour. What the... That looks different. I swear the bottom of the Leviathan card looks different. Oh well. Let's just do that. Took a few casualties, that's fine. But we will get some extra replenishment back. Got a nice bit of cash coming in now. 5,000 gold. And we'll start heading out towards Shattered Cove. So while Grimgor'z does that, Backler Mudlurker, let's just move you around. Oh no, actually, let's start moving you over towards here. If we stay along here, we can still be in Black Crag, so we can still upgrade the province. But I've noticed in the end of the last turn that Karakadrin are right here at Mount Silverspear. So we may have to rush in order to try and take Crookback Mountain from them before they arrive. But I'm going to send Bekla so she can just hang around on the border here so we can keep an eye on it. While you do that, Gorfang. Now, it was mentioned in the comments at the last episode about Belagar's army, who's somewhere around here. Now, I did check the diplomacy screen, and they're currently at war with the mutinous Gits here for the Crooked Moon. So, what I'm thinking is that Belagar's bringing his army to try and take Carrick 8 Peaks and the province in general. Now, what we could do, as we are here already, is that we could try and track down the faction leader, defeat him in battle, and then we'll be able to confederate with them. However, from what I can tell, that might be a little iffy thanks to the current bug when it comes to Greenskin Confederation. It seems to be that if you fight the battle yourself rather than auto-resolve it, like I believe we did before, then you may have trouble with the Confederation screen not coming up. Now, this could be just something with the beta rather than the game without the beta you can decide to opt into. But I'm a little concerned, shall we say, that might kick in. So what I'm actually thinking, because this guy is not their faction leader, right? What I'm thinking is that we just give Gorfang a bit of experience as well, and have him basically go after all of these. So if we have him go after 8 Peaks first of all, we can then take Valaya Sorrow, maybe deal with Belagard then. Otherwise we can just push down and take Grimgor'z or Carrick Azhag, and eventually we'll come across their faction leader in combat. So, let's declare war on these guys now. In fact, 16. Is it worth using our Call to Waaagh right now? Just remind me, what do I get if I hover over here? We'll get the bigger trophy, but not the biggest trophy. Okay, we'll save it for now then. Alright, let's just declare the war. Do that. And let's go in. Right. Black Orcs, we've got... I mean, to be honest, with the exception of maybe the chariots here, I think we'll be okay. It's just dealing with goblins. And a few boys. But what we'll do, we've got 7 labour. Let's queue up 2 siege towers. We can always just attack them in the next turn if we need to. We'll wait and see. But while we actually got Gorfang's army, I had a name submitted to me by Drake Materium that, and again, if you guys are interested in submitting names, feel free to do so in the link. But the River Troll Hag is now known as the local River Troll. Her backstory is coming on screen right now. Again, very orky and very suitable for this campaign. Great backstory, mates. Appreciate it, Drake. Right. We're probably going to get her to focus a bit on her magic with the Law of Death, but she may be okay in combat if needed. Now, Spite needs to be upgraded as well, but we also got 14,000 to spend. So, what do we want to spend it on? At the moment, here is relatively okay. We've got 2 more turns until we can upgrade Black Crag to a tier 5. I mean, we could go Stomping Grounds, get our hands on a giant. We could go for Fighting Pits, just to unlock our Night Goblin Fanatics. What about over here? Well, we've got 1 more turn left for Carrick Azor. Alright, we'll mainly leave that for the moment. What's over here? Pig Barter can get some defences. Shattered Cove, just in case, I guess. We can build some there. Okay, here we're going to upgrade Dread Rock. And we've also renamed the settlement here to Broke Rock Fort. I thought, again, that was quite fitting. 3 more turns until that's done, and then we can upgrade the Sea Dragon's Teeth to the next tier. And what about here? Let's just upgrade that. Yeah, I think we'll save the rest of the money for the moment. Alright, let's quickly upgrade people. Grimgor'z. Do I want to give you Wound Maker or from the front? Extra speed and frenzy. Or just increasing his weapon strength. Let's go from the front. Finish off his own personal combat skills. Oh, he's got 2 points. In that case, we'll go for Wound Maker too. Okay, Spite. Did we finish? We did not finish Curse of the Bad Moon. Little Boss. What am I actually doing with Little Boss, thinking about it? Let's give you Assassinate. What I might do is get him to actually come down here, so we can try and track down that faction leader of the Quickening Mutinous Gits. Right, the other True Gits. Let's give you Smash them faster. Leadership bonus and the melee attack bonus too, thank you. Skulk. I think we only got the one. Yeah, Fist of Gork. We'll take that. And then Research. Now, in the last turn, I spent some scrap in order to research toothy weapons, so we can now upgrade our Black Orcs, as you can see, and we also get a nice bit of extra armor-piercing damage for them. What I'm thinking, we'll continue down here, so this will give us +1 recruitment rank then for all our units when they're recruited, and +5 for our Lord. Combine that with the big boss huts when we eventually upgrade those to the top tier. That's going to come in handy for us to get some powerful Lords extremely quick. But let's see what happens next with Carrick A-Peaks. Oh, they've come out to attack me. Interesting. Right, balance bar is somewhat in their favour, although I would say it's more balanced. I think we'll be okay. They got a lot of goblins, which we can defeat with our orc boys. And they're not that experienced compared to our troops. Let's just see how we do. Alright, here we are guys, outside Carrick A-Peaks, which you can see in the distance has been decorated in the Greenskin manner. Now what was interesting about this battle is that the army that was garrisoned inside A-Peaks did not come out with the actual garrison force, which you can see coming in as reinforcements. So the battle itself turned out to be a bit easier than I imagined. Although goblins turned out to be surprisingly tougher than I expected. But given that there was only so many of them and we couldn't see a number of the units because of them being night goblins, we just charged forward with my entire force. You can see fanatics are being unleashed over here. They're going to do a little bit of damage to this unit here, but not that much. And it won't be soon until they go splatter themselves. My stone trolls, and I have to show off these guys if you've not seen them yet. Right, this is what stone trolls used to look like on the tabletop, not the way that the Creative Assembly decided. Now the mod is available to download, and I must say, they just, to me, that is a proper stone troll. Right, none of this other crap that we had to deal with. That just looks cool though, very, that is, to me, a troll. Anyway. Rather than focus on that, you can see that the trolls are going to town on a unit of night goblins. Pretty easy pickings, but given the fact that the main force is back over here, we've still got a way to go. Now that was just a bit of a quick flash then, because I did unleash the Curse of the Bad Moon over here, which managed to get a few casualties in. But given the fact that it wasn't that big a deal, we've still got plenty of other units that we can have charging in. I didn't worry too much. Now over here we had my units of boar boys that I brought out, and we had this unit of big guns chasing them down, but managed to catch up to them with actually 3 units of orcs. Didn't realise at the time I sent so many units that way, but we will limit them down. It will take a while though to kill them off considering. But while they're doing that, we are getting the boar boys to try and go after the archers over here. This unit was going back and forth because they had a couple of units stuck over there, which was annoying, but you had to deal with it. But otherwise, the fight is going extremely well over here. We've destroyed their left flank, and we're now pushing in to finish off the remnants in the centre. Now, the annoying thing is, the Orc war boss, despite the fact that he's just a vanilla war boss, managed to do quite good against Gorfang. Now, I'm just trying to find Gorfang. Oh, there he is. But, as you can see, he's taken a fair bit of damage, right, from the fight, even though he should have been able to win that. Although, looking at it, actually, Gorfang's got better melee defense, and the war boss has got better melee attack. So they do sort of balance each other out in that regard. But yeah, I expected him to last a bit better. But the centre has now collapsed, so we've got an opportunity now to basically charge forward into the reinforcements. Now, there's not much strategy to this. We are talking about greenskins, and while we're still dealing with fanatics over here, we're just charging in. We're getting my forces to engage. Me thinking that goblins should be an easy pickings for us. There's a couple of other units around. You can see over here we've got some big guns. They're fighting on the front line here, alongside the little goblins of the garrison. But my forces should be okay. They're going to take a bit of damage though, because we are outnumbered quite badly by the combined forces. Now over here, we've got the slight thing of the ball boy big guns. We keep fighting them and chasing after them. They'll turn around, attack the units, as you can see right now. They'll fight them up some more, run off, and then they'll keep doing that. So that unit's going to be engaged the entire time. Over here then we've got some night goblins fighting away, and some normal goblins. Again, you would think some big guns and some boys should be able to take them out, but they actually last a surprisingly long time. Now over here now, my night goblin archers are just firing into the centre, trying to do a bit of damage here and there. We've got a goblin big boss helping out over here against my black orcs. How's he doing actually so far, out of curiosity? He's already killed 3 black orcs, that's impressive. In the meantime, my ball boys are trying to do some damage back here against the chariots as well as the archers. Not doing too well, they're just taking so many casualties, they're not as effective as I would like. But we're going to continue nevertheless. We've got a nice big clump here. If I had a large area effect spell like Brain Burster or something, that would have been a really good target for us, but unfortunately we don't. Instead, I occasionally remember to throw in the spell to debuff them, but it's just unfortunate we have to do things otherwise. Now back here was interesting. I didn't realise Gorfang was chasing after the war boss, and he went to about here, and then I thought, oh no, I'll send him back, and then he turns around and comes to attack us. But at this point the centre is now broken. A couple of units are still hanging on here, but you can see Itchy Nuisance is debuffing them quite nicely. They are starting to waver, and victory is now within our grasp. Now, some of them do come back. You can see the Black Orcs coming in and getting affected by the Itchy Nuisance. They're going to soon shatter as well. Over here then I've got their war boss being attacked by a unit of Orc Boys, and Gorfang has decided to go for round 2. These guys are getting shot up by my Night Archers, and at this point, victory is mine. I end up spending quite some time trying to track down and kill as many of the enemies as possible. You can see a gaze of Mork coming in from there, from Spite. The annoying thing is though, even though I had units like my Black Orcs here, okay, admittedly there's not the best example, but over here, we've got my Orc Boys with a speed of 60. Now admittedly they're exhausted, but they're still faster than goblins. Yet these goblins are able to run much more quickly than these guys did. By the time they even got anywhere near these guys, these were way off the map all the way over here. It was shocking to see. But the most important thing is we managed to secure a victory. Now if I just hover over this quickly, you can see they outnumbered us by about nearly 700 men. Oh sorry, 1,000 units even. And we managed to win. That was really impressive. But time for us to go back to the campaign map. So, a close victory, but considering we were outnumbered by about 900 greenskins, I think we did alright. Now the only slight disappointment I had was actually in Gorfang. I don't know if I'll talk about it in the commentary when I do the battle, but he really didn't do too well against this orc boss here, Grimgor'z. And it occurred to me I forgot to give him any magical items, so that's definitely something we need to sort out. Now I'm actually going to get him to eat the captives, simply because we are laying siege, don't forget, so it would be handy just to get that little bit of extra replenishment. And we're back to my turn. When you're ready, game? Thank you. So someone's Waaagh has succeeded. Now I have to think it's the Bloody Hands, but I don't know who they were targeting. It can't be Karazakarak because they took Karazakarak and they've still got the Waaagh going, so I wonder if it was to do with the Border Princes instead. But we don't know. We'll see. And Azhag has made a call to Waaagh against Salzamund. Okay. Not quite the target I would have picked, but... Ooh, Brass Cleaver. Speaking of giving you magical items. Right. Let's get you, Grimgor'z, first of all, back to Shattered Cove. We might as well get him to Force March for now. We've got another turn of replenishment, so we'll probably fight the battle for Blood-Forged Armor in the next episode. Let's just get you marching quickly as possible up to here. Now, it looks like someone's actually laying siege to Crookback Mountain, so let's grab Betty here, or Bekla. Let's move you a little closer first. Karakadrin. Oh, and who's you? The Victus Clan Nest. I presume this is the Skaven clan that's responsible for owns Crookback Mountain. I wonder who will win that fight. We'll keep an eye on it with Bekla. But while we do that... Right. Belagar's arrived. I think it might be a good idea to actually try and take Harrogate Peaks now. Even though we haven't given him any more magical items yet. Let's actually get them set up. We'll do it after the fight. We already built some siege towers. We'll end the episode with the final capture of Harrogate Peaks. Let's quickly upgrade everything else first of all. So let's upgrade this first of all so we can get our hands on better generals in the future. Alright, that's fine over here. Let's upgrade this one too. Alright, in fact, if we go to Karagazul. Now I believe, because don't forget, we are using old world rights. We haven't actually checked them out yet, I think, in this campaign. Have we? I don't remember doing so. Well, we got the effigy of the big Waaagh. Nice bunch of bonuses, including quicker biggins. But we need 7,500. Now, this is the thing I was wondering about. With the Ragnarok Spider, just like with the Empire, for example, with their steam tanks, and I think it's one or two other units that have the same thing, instead of being able to recruit them naturally, you have to use a ritual to summon them. So this will allow us to get an Ragnarok Spider by building the Sacred Spider Grounds. So we want to do that at some point. The Bad Moon Reward Sneaky gets a bunch of bonuses for goblins, it seems, especially night goblins. Stork as well. Ooh, that could be handy. In the Effigy of Gork and Mork, a dilemma will offer a choice between the two greatest gods. I feel like I have done that one before. Maybe I don't know my own personal bit. I can't remember. But let's upgrade that to a Sacred Grounds. And if we've got enough, let's get a pile of shiny stuff. Alright, we'll do that. Alright. Banspar very much in my favour now. We could just auto-resolve this, but what I'm worried about is losing units. Like, for example, my Boar Boys and things like that. And especially when you consider some of my Orc Boys are, you know, quite high experience. Let's just fight it now. And then guys, here we are finally at Harrogate Peaks. Now this is a pretty straightforward battle. I've got my two towers over here filled up with the Black Orcs, making their way up towards the walls over here in front of us. Otherwise all my other infantry are basically charging forward in order to climb up onto the walls using their ladders, and just start laying waste to the Greenskins currently garrisoned on top of the walls. Now while they're doing that, my stone trolls are making their way towards the gatehouse to try and knock down the gates. And to try and make sure they stay alive, I kept my Boar Boys back here, just because I didn't want to risk them taking too many casualties in the fights. And given that they are cavalry units, they couldn't do much until the gates were destroyed anyway. So they just stayed back there. The rest of the army started coming forward. You can see we're taking some arrow fire here and there, but to be honest, it's nothing really for us to worry about. The stone trolls now are already making their way to the front, smashing the gates already, doing a fair bit of damage compared to some of my other units I've used in Warhammer 2. My Treemen, for example, with my Wood Elves took bloody ages to knock down walls in comparison. Maybe it's just because there's more of them, even though they didn't have as much weapon strength. But anyway, we're starting now to climb up onto the walls. Goblins against Orc boys, not a good match for them. But we're starting to make our way up along the way here. It's not going to be much of a fight. The only unit that's going to cause problems is right here in the center. They do have Black Orcs. They're going to manage to do quite a bit of damage to one of my big units later. And I nearly lose the unit, just because I wasn't paying too much attention. Now over here, the Black Orcs, speaking of them, our own have managed to get on the walls and already just slaughtered away through a unit of boys that happen to be nearby. So, we're going to start pushing along here and then in order to trap the units here in the center. Stone Trolls still bashing away, nearly a 2/3 of the way through the gate already. Fantastic. Their war boss is right here, only 38 health. Now I figure I'd try and get the early kill in by first of all firing with archers, and then I tried using the Curse of the Bad Moon. Appearing right in front of us here. Look at that. What a hideous sight. The thing is, it didn't manage to kill him off. He got 17 health left. After that, I've lost half the health, but not as much as I would have liked. But while I was doing that, we can see now boys are starting to appear on the walls over here. There's not going to be much going on with these guys, so I've given them orders to basically start making their way down to join up in the center here. Now while they're doing that, of course, the gates are smashed open, some stone trolls are coming in to deal with the chariots and their war boss. Gorfang is somewhere in the background there coming in as soon as well. And the Wither Troll Hag has come in to help out as well with her. Well, I don't really want to know what's in their bag, to be honest with you guys. I can see a fish, and that's the only thing I don't want to know anymore, thank you. Right, what's going on over here? We do have the Goblin Big Boss coming in to join the fight. He's not going to do much against Stone Trolls. But up on the walls where the main fight is, most of our units have already done the damage. At this point they have tried using the Waaagh, but it's not going to be enough. Now this unit here, I believe, or is it this unit here? One of the units, I think it is this one, is going to be taking a lot of damage because of the Black Orcs nearby. So when I get down to about 20 unit men left, I do try getting them off the walls and we're able to do it quite successfully. But already, you can see we've done a lot of damage to these units. Most of them are routing, even down in the center that we had the notification not long pop up that their lord has been killed. Not surprising perhaps, with only 17 health. The Stone Troll was just laying into the units in front of us here. Chariots though are lasting a surprisingly long time. And we've got some boys coming in to try and help, but again, not going to do much against the Trolls and Gorfang. Now, they've still got a couple of units left here in the center, so what I started doing is sending a couple of units around this way, where they start engaging units of Night Goblin Archers and the Ball Boy Biggins that survived. They'll be dealing with those, whereas over here now the Wither Troll Hag gets herself involved in a fight with Night Goblins. Now, I'm not going to lie, I expected her to do a better job against the Night Goblins than she ended up doing. She took a lot of damage in the fight, so have to remember, despite being a troll, maybe keep her out of combat as much as possible. The charge didn't exactly help as well from the Ball Boy Biggins, but reinforcements are starting to come in right now. And now we've got our own spells with the Itchy Nuisance coming on up here. Just enough in order to try and do some damage against the Black Orcs, causing them to thing here. You can see that unit of Orc boys. Only 21 models left in the unit. Those Black Orcs did do a number on them, but now they're fighting my own Black Orcs and Orc boys. It's not a good day to be one of the mutinous skits. Finally though, when we head into the center here, we managed to pretty much clear up around here. We've got some more boys just coming in now to chase these away. But you can see the routes already starting to occur with a couple of them. Never Fnatic units let loose. Have to remember to be careful of those in the future. And here we go. I do reckon it's because technically I believe the local River Troll counts as a large target. And Ball Boy Biggins, as you can see, are anti-large. So the benefit of hindsight, maybe it's not surprising that she took as much damage as she did. But they started routing, shattered away. I let loose with a Spirit Leech just to do a bit of extra damage. But it is a decisive victory, and Karak 8 Peaks is now ours. Let's go back to the campaign map and see what I decide to do with the settlement. So, expected decisive victory, but it was a fight that we needed to do, just in order to make sure none of our units died in the auto-resolve. But, oh, we picked up glittering scales. Nice. Alright, let's do that. 28,000. Oh, that is tempting. That is really tempting. Do it. We'll still take it back now, as well. But that 28, nearly 29,000, I just could not... Alright, skip through all that. Let's move back in, and we'll take it out for ourselves. Perfect. Alright, let's get that. And what do we have? Radiant stashes, Waaagh trappers. I think it might be worth keeping those. Just in case we have to deal with Skaven. I mean, we can see already there's been some Skaven activity in the area. And we've got vampiric corruption. Where from? Vampiric corruption, buildings and commandments. Where the hell do we have vampiric corruption from? I have no idea. It's from a building. Yet none of these, as far as I'm aware, have unique buildings that deal with corruption. You know what? It's fine. It's fine. Let's get ourselves a Beast Layers while we're here. We'll keep the boss shack. We will repair this. Boar's Eye we'll keep. Radiant stashes, we'll put that in a minor settlement. And everything else should be just fine. And more importantly, we've got our hands on Carrick 8 Peaks. Now, the shame that they don't have the unique building option for us that Skarsnik and I would normally have. But that's a little disappointing. I was expecting to have it, given the fact that it's got the landmark symbol right there. But, oh well, it's one of those things, I guess. Right, what can we do now over 23,000 quick? Let's get our hands on a stomping ground, since that needs to be built anyway. Shattered Cove can have that. That's fine. That's okay. Alright, Carrick Azul. What do I want to build here? I'm thinking... Let's go for a Goblin Toolbox. Just so we have a building nearby that allows us to quickly get our hands on our war machines, like the Spear Chuckers, the Pump Wagons, and so on. We'll grab our hands on that. Do we want to upgrade that? Sure, because that will give us access to Night Goblins with Fanatics. We'll spend that. I believe that'll be everything. Yeah, sure. It saves us a bit of cash then, so we can upgrade this in the following turn. Let's quickly upgrade characters. Let's give you, to be honest, let's go and sort you out quickly here as well. Let's give you a war banner to give to your troops. That's not such a big deal, and neither is that. Casualties, Night Goblins, post-battle loot. We'll give you a Swindler. And I'm thinking, let's give you a Backstabber as well. Glittering Scales, do we do anything better? In fact, do we have anything better? I mean, Glittering Scales is okay. I mean, the -5 melee attack would be quite useful just as a buff for everybody. Oh, Helm Discord. Hello. Nogdrod Crooked. Not mine now. No, in fact, I got a better character for that to be given to. The other true gets Elborg Knornhaber. Well, you've now got that. What's this? Shifty has the other Trickster Shard. You can have the... No, in fact, you can have that. Given the fact that we have already got Unbreakable with Grimgor'z. Any better weapons? Sword of Anti-Heroes. That will do nicely for the moment. Okay, then 4 points for you. Let's quickly give one here. Some here. No, let's redo that. One there, one there. And I'm also thinking then, let's give you a bit more melee attack. Okay. Spite. Let's give you Gorka Fix-It. No, let's give you another... No, let's not worry too much about that, in fact. I mean, it would make it just a little bit cheaper, but no, let's go Gorka Fix-It. Again, debuffing the enemies is going to be a useful thing to have. The local Wither Troll. Let's give you Replenish Troops. Horrid Mass. Excuse me. Spirit Leech. And let's give you Soul Blight. Just to reduce enemy armor as well. That could be useful. Right. I think that's... Oh yeah, that was the thing I wanted to do. If we go back to Grimgor'z army quickly and we get to our hands on the other true gits. Instead of glittering scales, I'm going to give you, good sir, the Helm of Discord. And let's give you a bully as well. There we go. Huh. That's worked out quite nicely. Their faction leader for the Crooked Mutinous Gits has just turned up, right? Okay, he's doing a runner now. But he's tried fighting Belagar and lost the fights. That could work out quite good for us. But we'll sort it out for the next episode, I think. Because now everything seems to be relatively alright. Is there any pop-ups we need to worry about? Okay, plus 20 weapon damage for everybody. Good. All done. So, we're going to end it here, guys. Now, what's going to happen, just to give you a heads up, I should have mentioned it earlier in the episode, but there isn't going to be an episode coming out on Thursday, simply because I'm going to be busy after tomorrow for the rest of the week. And so the next episode is going to be coming out on Monday. Otherwise, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. I made it a little bit longer to make up for not doing it yesterday. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. And now you do join me next time, though, for some more Grimgor and Greenskin action. But until then, everybody, take care, and goodbye for now.